I really wanted to love Wuthering Waves. I remember when it was first announced with a short teaser and we saw Yang Yang standing in the middle of nowhere, I was super excited. I love Nier Automata, so the idea of a post-apocalyptic open world gacha had me intrigued. Eventually, we heard more about the game through various trailers and beta tests, and the game seemed amazing. The world was broken and bleak, combat looked fast-paced, fun, and engaging, and the people of this world did not trust you, which was interesting. I love the idea that we would have to earn the trust and friendship of the characters. Being an outcast could create so many gripping story scenarios of struggle and triumph. And on one fateful day, the game finally released, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it. I was really disappointed for a couple of reasons. One, the optimization was atrocious. A lot of people struggled playing the game. Doesn't matter if you had a device from 2015 or 2023. A lot of people just could not play it. Bugs, glitches, just so much atrocious stuff was happening. It was crazy. I remember that the second beta test had a lot of glaring problems, so when the release date was announced after the second beta, a lot of people were really confused, and rightfully so. There's a theory that the game was rushed. Kudo ran out of money and needed to release the game even though it wasn't finished, thus leading to the atrocious launch. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Kudo's previous game, Punishing Gray Raven, is not super successful. Don't get me wrong. It does make money, but it never made like $100 million every update or anything like that. So if they did run out of money, that makes a lot of sense. Buggy launch aside, I was disappointed by the game itself. The story was horrendously bad. The voice acting was laughable. We've all seen the cutscene of Femme Rover jumping into the air when she's trying to stop Scar and being like, I don't think so. It's so bad, bro, but I also love it because it's so funny. Where was I? The characters had the personality and depth of wet cardboard, with the exception of my glorious queen, Chishia. I love her, bro. I wish she was more involved in the story because she's genuinely a really fun character and I wish we saw her more. And worst of all, the post-apocalyptic world was nowhere to be found. Sure, there were destroyed cars and modern day buildings and just modern day stuff randomly thrown around, but it never really felt like we were living in a modern world, post-apocalyptic world. It felt weirdly like a fusion of high fantasy and sci-fi. I never truly got the idea that this was Earth, but like after the world was destroyed and this was like thousands of years later or however long it's been. It felt weirdly fantasy, which was disappointing for me because I was really interested in this game because of the post-apocalyptic setting. But yeah, the open world and exploration was bad and boring at worst, mediocre at best, filled with generic open world slop, various treasure chests lazily scattered about, simple puzzles like putting a box in a place or hitting things in a specific order, your run-of-the-mill open world stuff, things that you would expect to find in insert Ubisoft game here. You know, nothing super interesting or fun, to be honest. It's fun in a sense that it's fun to turn off your brain and just mindlessly explore, but it's not that interesting, to be honest. For me, anyways, it wasn't that interesting. I didn't really enjoy myself. And the game modes themselves were nothing interesting either. They were just run-of-the-mill farming stages or Tower of Adversary, which is this game's version of the Abyss from Genshin Impact. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said the forbidden word Genshin Impact. Am I gonna get crucified? Is God gonna strike me down? The only thing I genuinely liked was the combat. Fast-paced, fluid, fun, and engaging. The Jin Shi and Shorekeeper updates improved on the story and characters with astronomically better storytelling, character exploration, and voice acting, but that being said, overall version 1 was mediocre at best, and that's me being generous. So I didn't play version 1 a lot. I logged in every once in a while, maybe 5 or 6 times a month, and I played for like a couple hours. Anybody remember that weird management game we had to complete in version 1.2 to get what's his face, like Shang-Li Yao or something like that? I don't know, I don't remember. I actually lost my original account, and the one that I currently use is locked to the PS5, so I actually lost my Xiangling Yao because my current account I made when Renacida released. So that sucks. Guys and gals, if you feel bad, for me, the fact that I lost my free what's his face, then consider becoming a channel member for just $5 a month. There's a link next to the subscribe button, or you can click on the link in the description. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Let's get on with the video. Where the hell was I? But then everything changed when Renacida attacked. The game massively improved. It is crazy, genuinely, how much better the Renacida update made this game. Where the hell was I? I need to stop losing my place. Somehow, Renacida and Septimont made me finally want to consistently play the game. Don't get me wrong, I'm not playing every single day, but I'm playing a lot more than I used to. Through the grace of RNGesus himself, I like Wuthering Waves. Wow, I can't believe I just said that. Renacida, as in the location itself, was absolutely breathtaking. Stunning landscapes with shockingly high levels of detail, whether it be the foliage, the lighting, the weather systems. It is gorgeous. That's the power of the Unreal Engine, I suppose. Kudo sacrificed a stable mobile port for bleeding edge visuals. Not only that, the exploration had massively improved. The introduction of the wings made traversal so much more convenient, soaring through the sky like some scantily clad hawk. No, seriously, what the hell is Femme Rover wearing? Have you ever stopped and actually looked at her design? It's really weird. Then we got Mr. Wannabe Kirito number 5 billion, but that's a discussion for a different day, one that we will probably never have, but maybe. We also got a couple of new Echo traversal based options. Like the big bear jump, or the flying manta ray, or the Roman guard that can cut reality for some reason. Wouldn't this make him like one of the strongest beings in the game? I was really disappointed with the lack of Echo utilization outside of combat in version 1, so seeing them add a bunch of exploration transformations throughout version 2 had me elated. The various activities were improved as well. Kinda. Instead of having to find an infinite amount of random treasure chests scattered about, instead there are a handful of treasure spots. I like this because in order to achieve 100% exploration, you only need the treasure spots, but the treasure chests scattered in the deepest corners of Ji Yan's ass crack are still there, so exploration is still rewarded. The yellow floating balls are untouched. Fondle them to your heart's content. What I absolutely adore are the various Echo activities, transforming into a bunny to trace a line on the ground, or absorb a multitude of evil balls. Why is this game obsessed with balls? Punching boulders as a big teddy bear, ripping apart reality as a floating gladiator, and more. I think. I might be forgetting about some things, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, we got some mini games, like the color puzzles. I did all of them, so I can't show you any footage because they're not repeatable, but I like the environmental changes when you finish them. The world goes from being all dead and gray and green into being filled with light and color and flowers. It's really pretty. The act of exploring is just so much better, but it's not perfect. Something that worries me is the copy and paste nature, aka the Ubisoft method. All of the activities are copy and pasted throughout Renacida, so while fun, I'm already getting bored of it. The Gladiator The Gladiator Echo did add a little bit of freshness to exploration, but I hope when the next big major region gets added, I believe it's called the Federation, feel free to correct me on that, I'm not entirely sure, but I really hope they do a massive overall overhaul of exploration when the next region gets added. In the sense that I hope they add a bunch of brand new activities to do. They can keep like the treasure spot and the floating orbs, but the other activities, I hope they do a major overhaul of all of those and give us a truly fresh new experience and not just copy and paste the Renacida stuff over there, you know? Because if they do that, the exploration is going to be incredibly repetitive. They also added a bunch of new permanent content throughout version 2. I don't like Whimpering Waste or whatever it's called, I don't really care. It's just a slightly different version of Tower of Adversary, which I also hate, aka a DPS check with a timer, and even worse, the timer this time is way shorter. Tower of Adversary gives you like 5 minutes to get max rank. Whimpering Waste gives you like a minute and a half. It's crazy and I hate it. It's such a boring game mode. You either have the damage to win or you don't. Skill and strategy is hardly a factor. It is there, but not as much as I wish it was. Also, you can fish. It's really boring and bad. So let's move on. We got the cinema Who's It What's It, and I love this mode. Or rather, I love the idea of it. The actual execution left much to be desired. I like the idea of a really long game mode. This thing can last you upwards of an hour and a half. It's crazy and I love it. And having to strategically build a team based on who you randomly get is fun in my opinion. I like that each character has unique upgrades that change the way they play, but I don't think they went far enough with the mode. The upgrades are either slight tweaks and adjustments to attacks and skills, or just new passives. Characters don't get brand new skills or anything like that. I think Wuthering should take a page from Zenless and its roguelike mode. In that game, characters get completely brand new skills. For example, Korin can ride her chainsaw like a bike, and Astra gets a Kamehameha blast. It's awesome. Imagine if Chishia got a special flaming dive kick she could do while airborne that pushes the enemy away from her, giving her space to reposition and continue her storm of bullets. Or if Ji Yang got the ability to summon his dragon to breathe fire on his opponents. Or if Yuan Wu got an electrifying uppercut. There is so much potential, and sadly they didn't capitalize on it. But they are updating it every couple of updates, so here's hoping that they take this to the next level. Also, they need to add more unique encounters because holy shit, this mode gets repetitive fast. I absolutely adore the new Banner Schmanner mode. I am so glad that this mode actually utilizes the open world rather than taking us to some random ethereal room inside some empty void like the other modes. I love how arcadey it feels having to hunt down a bunch of enemies and leveling up each time I defeat them. Or if you want to give yourself a massive challenge, make a beeline directly to the boss of an area. I did that twice and it was super fun. They better steadily release new locations for this mode because it has a lot of potential. Hopefully, they add a version of this to Renacida and especially Wong Long to give us a reason to return there. Truth be told, I'm torn on the story. The storytelling has massively improved, but there are absolutely no stakes. Rover is so ridiculously overpowered that I genuinely lose all interest when they get ready to fight someone. Not only that, they are so goddamn important. They founded the Black Shores, they created the Sentinels, or whatever they're called. They probably created the Fractidus. They are potentially some kind of god or something like that. And it's just ridiculous how directly involved they are in every single aspect of this world. Also, the fact that characters never return after their version ends is weird and disappointing. Carlotta was so important in version 2.0 but has not made a single significant appearance outside of that. Same goes for every other character, the one exception being Carfefia so far. That could change in the future, but currently it's a really big problem. I do have other criticisms, but I'm considering making a dedicated video about Wuthering's story, so I'll end it here. All in all, playing Wuthering Waves has been a interesting journey, to say the least. While it has improved, I certainly don't think it's perfect. For example, I absolutely despise the equipment system. It is so fucking trash, I hate it. And I will be talking about that in a different video, because I plan on talking about equipment in various gacha games in general, and Wuthering Waves is a part of that. Anyways, I still have no interest in logging in every single day in order to do my dailies, farming equipment, or any of that nonsense, but I do enjoy logging in every now and then to progress the story, participate in events, and explore the world. Hopefully the game will continue to improve and I will want to log in more and more often. Version 3 definitely has a lot of potential, but we will have to wait and see. That being said, feel free to share your own thoughts on Wuthering Waves down in the comments below. What has your Wuthering Waves journey been like? While you're at it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And like I said earlier, if you want to more directly support me, feel free to become a channel member for just $5 a month. There's a link next to the subscribe button, and there's also a link in the description below. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.